Unlimited Cruise 2 Awakening of the Hero playing on New Game Plus speedrun will begin in 3, 2, 1, let's go. And yes, we are going to immediately skip the two major cutscenes. We are on the last island from the previous game. This is like a sequel to the first game, A Treasure Beneath the Waves. And the gameplay and story are very similar to the first one. It's like a copy of it, but as it is right now, we are escaping away from the island because we have been weakened too much. And oops. And we cannot really defeat like the end boss. In the first game there was a companion we got called Gabri. We have become friends with Gabri. Gabri have the ability to like eat things to become stronger. And Gabri sacrificed himself so that we could escape. We are going to use Robin a lot in this speedrun, and the reason is probably explain themselves when you have seen the combat, because she has a lot of range and multi-attack as well. There is a small window here where you can control your character before this cutscene like starts. And we are saying, oh, we have not seen that island before. That's the next target. We can save here. We can develop things here. And of course, these crates which contain materials or items we need for the speedrun, like a fishing rod, a picking axe, as well as a bug catching net. And the last one has some rubber fruit. And that's useful because we need rubber to make rubber bands. Rubber bands is used to return to the ship on certain places on the island. What I took out of storage is items which are carried over save files. And they are used to compensate for other materials, so I don't need to go out and find those materials anymore. One of the big difference I have made from the previous world record to this. And the first island is a desert island. Of course, when you're thinking desert and One Piece, Alabaster comes to mind, and that's why we are seeing Alabaster soldiers. I did not evade. Of course, those Alabaster soldiers are only like clones. The mud creatures you see can transform into enemies we have met in past. And the first two islands is really go out and collect a lot of items. In the beginning is merely cactus and cactus flower. What you're seeing I'm doing here is something I call SS sliding. I do not know if it have an official name, but SS stands for skill swapping. And it makes sense because when I run, I can switch like my skill attacks abilities, and if I then start running again, I can then just I can run at max speed without burning my stamina. Though I have to be careful because in this state I can activate my skills abilities. And if I do that, I am losing my stamina permanently. And is the yellow bar. It's very, very important that I have it. Since I need to use special abilities to defeat enemies. And it's very easy to activate it, because when you are in this running animation, if I check the remote mode or use an attack while I run, I activate my special abilities. What you also can see in the top corner is something like air plus A or dash plus A. Those are, if I can say, conditions. If I fulfill these conditions, I go in something that's called a rush mode. And a rush mode is a state where all my attacks do more damage. And every time I defeat an enemy, I'm getting pellets. And these pellets can restore my health or stamina. So I don't really lose them when I'm on the island. And if I defeat certain enemies, I am also going to collect, what can I say, special items that only certain enemies can drop. But that's not really important to take items from other people, since Nami have a nice passive ability to actually take items from other enemies. But we don't need to take items from enemies in this run. So we are not really going to use Nami, since that's the most useful thing she can do in this game. Of course, on this island there are also trees, and we need trees. But more about the Gabri. Gabri defended us during the last fight against the last boss in the previous game, and have been completely exhausted and have turned into a state where he's just an orb. We want to revive Gabri back, and by that we are going to feed him items at certain location of the game. So that he can restore his power, and it is also to progress the game. Attack. And yes, cacti have 2 hitbox. One where you have to hit them, and another where you can then collect them. And each gate have like a required item you need. As well as you need item to fill up the bars. And how you know what item fill up which bar usually is because of the color. If an item is certain color, it usually fills up the bar more. And now we're going to first boss, and yes, it's Panda Man sitting on that mast. Panda Man is a lot in this game. Hidden around islands. So we have our first boss, and we are going to JoJo pose upon him. And because we are so cool at doing our poses, he's admitting defeat. He cannot take it and faint off it. Each time you defeat a boss, you can also see that the bar to open up a new gate increases. And you will do that every time. One of the biggest changes I'm not going to say one of the biggest, but one of the changes I've made is that beforehand you went out and had to capture Red Hercules box. Red Hercules bug on this island. But it can be a bit inconsistent, like if you're capturing or not. So I have decided to go out and say I will collect red cactus flower instead. Since I am more guaranteed to collect what I need of that part. Of course, I'm also going to need a lot of fruit, so I'm going to get that as well. That's not very lucky. I hope the last three have at the very least 2 fruits. They have 3. That's good. That's very good. And we are immediately now going over to the last boss of this island. And Robin is the most useful in these places where we have room battles. Because of her ability to target multiple enemies from range and without need to be like in front of them, as many of the Straw Hat crew. Yeah, and something always happens during like opening a gate usually. And voila, suddenly we are on a big ship. We are switching over to Sanchi, and as you can already see, Sanchi have already lost some of his stamina. And that's because when you are using a co-op attack, as we do, every Straw Hat crew who are in a co-op attack use some of your stamina, and that's so that you cannot. It's so that you cannot spam a really strong attack like this multiple times in a boss fight. You can do it at maximum 2 times before you then need like medicine to restore your stamina. And I completely forgot the timer for Kit. So that was Kit. And that was Crocodile. And yes, we can now go over to the next island since we have completed this. But first we are going to greet Gabri, who have now returned back to a physical form out of his orb. But he seems a bit different. A lot cuter than in the previous game. But a lot of talk with Gabri is about dreams and how like you are strong. Mostly because we need Gabri's help to defeat the end boss, since Gabri is part of the last enemy of the game. The sort of story, and I can talk a bit of that since I have to go to this island and farm materials 3 times. Is that we found Gabri in the previous game, but a lot of things like happened as the same thing we are seeing here. We're going out defeating bosses, Gabri becomes stronger, and then we find the last island with like an ancient technology on it, like giant robot. but since Gabri is like part of it, it also like have the same connection, or have a bit of connection to him, and have become like afraid of humans and our greed, and then it wants to eradicate all humans. But since Gabri have like traveled with the Straw Hat Crew and like have learned all people have some sort of greed, not all people are good. Gabri learns that, hey, not all are evil, and maybe like the technology from that time is wrong. It was meant as a big guardian for an old civilization to protect them, but it could not like find a suitable, I would not say host, but a companion at the time. And it then became sort of evil because of that. And yes, we have released that evil in the first game, and we could not defeat that evil. And Gabri sacrificed himself so that we could escape. So this game is more or less, we are going to go back and, you know, beat it up after become stronger. What's really interesting is that the end boss learns like the Straw Hat Crew's abilities, as well as other bosses' abilities, and replicate it during the boss battle. And this is the reason why we need the rubber fruit, so that we can return to the island, back from the island. And I do like that all characters have their own animation when they are using the rubber band, as well as when they are using the cannon to shoot themselves back to an island. But yeah, we learn from reading like, or Robin more like reading monuments of ancient text, that that was this old civilization and it made this technology, but there were people who wanted to abuse it, and therefore they tried to hid it away. But after a few millennia, it's trying to poke its nose. It even since Gabri is part of it, Gabri, if I can say, it was sent out to like learn about humans, if we have learned new stuff or not. And of course, we are humans, we are greedy, we have not learned. And that's why it sees us as a threat. And please don't shoot me. Oh, just barely missed. The mud creatures can turn into alabaster soldiers, and those soldiers can shoot you. And if they do hit you, of course you're getting thrown off balance, so that you cannot jump or use like the updraft to jump. Oh yeah, and don't look really at people's feet when they are sliding, because it's not meant to be like that, so that's why you're seeing their feet maybe turn a bit. Oh, I missed again. Well, I do need nectar, so it's fine. Oh yeah, how to get out of a skill slide. Oh, I have all the nectar I need. Nice. Is to bump into things or leave the ground, so jumping or just get hit by anything. Oh, I don't need any more cacti. Or maybe I do. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, maybe I do. Since I don't really feel I have enough red fruit. Red cactus flower can compensate for some of it. So maybe I should have picked it up. Of course, I'm also picking up rubber because I need to make some more rubber bands. I need at the very least, 5 rubber. So this is the last run, hopefully, for this island. It mostly comes up to how many red fruit I'm getting, and as you can see, I'm not very lucky. The average is 5 to 7, and I need around 20 of the red fruit. But the game really likes to give me maybe only 4. Like, only 2 on this, 1 here, 1 there, and, you know, it's not very kind. Oh yeah, I am playing on the European version of the game, but there is a big difference between the Japanese version and the European version, and that's something that's called the duplication glitch. I cannot do a duplication glitch on the European version, and it's like just being fixed out of the game. The duplication glitch is very easy to perform on the Japanese server or the Japanese game, and that's because that the Japanese version have this this glitch where if you're using your if you're using your fishing rod as an example, you can. I hope this is good enough and I don't need anything else. I'm trying out in case I have less fruit in this run. But if you put out like your fishing rod or you're going in first person view mode, you can duplicate items as they are drawn into you. So yeah, we are done on this island. We go straight to the other. And most of the talk we have here on the ship when you're going to a new island is talk to Gabri about dreams, ourselves, fulfilling dreams, do you have one for yourself? Like, do you have a goal you want to accomplish? And it's mostly like something you have to do yourself. You cannot like cheat out anything when you have like this dream. So this island is called Memory Isles. And we have here like a small talk that, oh, is a sort of a déjà vu island. But I do not know anything about this island and why it's considered a déjà vu island. Because I don't recognize this really from the One Piece world, as I know. But yeah, we are changing over to Brook. For a very good reason. There are 2 major reasons, sort of 3. One of them is that you need bamboo, and the best way you can get that is to cut them, since bamboo bounce if you are hitting them with a fist, so you cannot collect them. The second is that the game, it came out like at the end of Thriller Park's Saga game, where we was introduced to Brook. And if people, since it's a long time ago, have more or less forgotten since we don't really see it, is that Brook it doesn't really wait much and have a very fast running speed, which allows him to actually run on water. Unfortunately, no, you cannot run over to the end boss of this game. There is a wall that prevents you from doing it. But because of Brook can run on water, we can now completely skip over here. And now we are on the other side of the island. I do hate coconuts because coconuts, they bounce on your head, and when you do that, your stamina is completely drained. Why? I'm not entirely sure. Now we are fishing. We are in need of 3 fish for the next gate, or for the end gate of this island. First, we are in need of an ice sunfish. These spawns from 10 meters and up. And then there are clams. I need 2 of them. But these spawns from 5 meters and up. Oops, that's a bit too far. That means I'm just unlucky, since I can guarantee to always capture a clam if I'm between 5 and 10 meters, because nothing else spawn at that point. So right now I'm just unlucky. And I hope this is an ice sunfish. Oh, okay, it was. Nice. And when you're using like the remote shaking attack ability, Brook have this dash attack. But oops, I want to do that closer to him. Never mind, I'm doing this. He dies in 3 hits. Or 3 special attack hits. But I missed the first one. The attack where you jump in the air or jump down is an AoE attack. The hitbox is a bit sketchy, so that's just sad. But the reason why you're running, I was a bit too slow, is so that I could just evade the spikes falling down. Of course, I missed the first special ability, so I have less special power now. But it's not that important, sort of, since I don't need to fight a boss against anyone. I only have Brook now to collect bamboo. Now he's not needed anymore. I can switch over to Robin. And I believe I do not need any nectar anymore. So I don't need to use time here to farm something of it. But I do need these explosive rocks. These explode if you are too close to them. Or of course you're hitting them. Okay, now just doing it. But Robin have a nice ability to attack them from range. Which I completely missed. The main thing that I need on this island are the blue fruits. So I hope to get a lot of them. And that's also the reason why we are going over here. Because there are 2 more trees, and the last tree here usually give you around 4 to 5 every time. But there is a room battle. This is a bit different room battle because I'm going to stand around here. Because there are these C9 agents that spawns, and they love to use shift, which is the ability to jump behind an enemy. And I'm using an AoE attack. It's a close range, but it usually hits the CPI agents, which I then can ignore afterwards and do normal attack after. So it was a very clean fight. So now we are going back to the ship so that we can reset the island for resources. And we are going back to where we were shooting ourselves out. But not before I'm making something that is required for the next gate. And this is more or less the only reason right now we have a chopper. Because we are in need of some gunpowder. Flying at the speed of sound, the places to go around that follow the rainbow. So now we are going back the island the other way around, which is the proper way actually around it. What we really need is blue fruit, a bit more bamboo and sprouts. And marble. I have made it so that I don't need more marble than the previous routing, and that's because mystic. It's because that I have these mystic parts which are taking up some of the required material I needed. No, sorry, it's not the mystical parts. It's the red medicine I picked up. If there was a sprout, I would have gone out there and picked it up, but there was none, so I have no reason. And as I said before, using the dash attack, I can teleport through the spikes. And no, I cannot run on water here. So that's the reason why I'm doing this. Changing back, since I cannot run normally like that. Oh. No, I picked up 2 salts on the island. What you just saw there was a bush where there was an egg hidden underneath it. This island is very good to get eggs. Eggs are useful as both materials to give to Gabri. But the main thing is that these eggs sometimes can be golden eggs. You don't really need golden eggs if you don't need to fight any optional bosses, because you have an... I have enough. You have a golden bar at the end of your... what can I say? Of the bars you can fill off. And it's only used to something like getting over 2 or activating optional bosses. Okay, he was really fast. There's one here. Almost a clean fight. That was one who didn't want Robin to turn around at all. He was really fast. So this is a place where everyone just hate to be. Gabri is making a path so that we can actually come over this big gap. But the problem is that it's filled with only spikes. And I'm taking it a bit slow, since it's very easy to overshoot and just fall down. And now we go over to the next boss. And you are going to see that there are one big one and a lot of smaller one. And that's because this boss have a lot of minions inside of it. We're fighting Smoker and a lot of marines. But we don't need to care about the marines, only Smoker. And of course, as always, he's going to be so embarrassed that we are so cool at doing our JoJo pose. Smoker thinks that he is very cool, but not like us. So he's going to be so embarrassed and just completely give up. That's the yellow bar at the bottom that just popped up. That's what you really need, like golden items for. And here we are talking that, or at least Gabri thinks that Smoker is a bad guy because he looks mean and he attacks us. But we are actually defending Smoker and say, actually, he is the good guy, we are the baddies. I found that a bit funny because that is true. But just that we are defending him and saying that we are the bad guys. So now we are going back to the ship. We are collecting the last marble needed. And resetting the island because we need a bit more blue fruit. And I will see, can we see Pandaman? Unfortunately not. He's on the cliff to the right here. Doing karate moves. You can see him more or less everywhere on the island. Standing there. So now the only thing we really need before we can leave this island is to, oops, sorry Robin, is to go out and collect more blue fruits. I need around 40 blue fruits before I can leave the island. With my luck, I don't think I can get that much. We will see. This tree usually have 4 to 5 each time. I have been unlucky and it only dropped me 2. These the other trees give around 1, 2, 3. And it's very rare, I think, to get that many fruits. That's very rare. All of them giving me 3? I don't need to go back. Like, I don't need to, you know, return back. That's one of the first very rare instances. So yeah, we are just going straight over to the boss. Actually, no, not right, not completely. I'm going to, okay. Switching over to blue, since the gate is over the water. I just want to make sure I had enough sprouts. I did not, so it was just to get that one. I took a small detour. Ah, come on. Oh yeah, I don't need that. I had to learn. I need to make a... Wait, I don't need that sprout anymore. That's actually huge. I don't need the sprout anymore. At least not here. So yeah, there's a big skeleton that have been sprung up. That's Gabri for you. Summoning a dead sea king out of the ocean. It's not alive though. And if you're curious, Pandaman can be in multiple places on the island. He is right under here where I jump on the skeleton. No, 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 no. Go back. So the next boss is like the first real multi-boss where we have two strong opponents. Is Mihawk and Shanks as a warlord as well as one emperor. Luckily, they are not as cool as me, since they are also defeated by one JoJo pose, and I'm going to correct my notes so I actually don't apparently need that sprout anymore. And we have a cutscene here where Usopp is very very happy because we have defeated one emperor and one warlord. And everyone's like, yeah, but we all know that they are stronger than this. So we are now finally done on the second island. We are going below deck because there are a chest down here we want to collect. And that is some salt. Before we go over to the last island. Oh, not the last island, the next island. Sorry. This game came out 2009 at the end of Thriller Park. And they decided, the developer team, to make this island the Thriller Park Island. It means that there are a lot of zombies, there are traps on the island in like plants that pops out of the ground and hit you, zombie that pops out and hit you, as well as sleeping flowers that comes out of the ground and hit you. Also, if you want to make medicine, like medicine that restore a fallen ally, 3 out of 4 of the required materials can you get on this island. But as for now, what we need is that we need to make a pie. Yes, the materials you collect can be used for something like, oops, I got hit. Can be used to make food, to enhance, you know, your health and stamina. And I was actually lucky. I need 3 pears, and I got it. It's not very... It's very unusual actually, it gives me 3. Normally I only get 1, maybe 2. I also collect the spiderweb because I need, for the last gate of this island, to collect shadows. And if no one remembers from Full Island, the way you are getting shadows is by defeating zombies. I have to make sure that I'm doing it right. if I lost that pie there by giving it to one of the crew members, it was more or less just a dead run. But I need 100 shadows, and by feeding zombies with a sword equipped to me, I can get shadows from them. But now when I'm saying I need 100 shadows, but I only got 90 pellets, that's because I don't need to collect it. The next boss will drop a treasure chest containing 40 shadows. And the game have a treasure map system where certain enemies can drop a treasure map piece. And you can then go out and find treasures on each island. And since I have a treasure map on me from the previous save file I have not collected, I can collect it out now. And that means that I can... excuse me, I have to make sure I'm doing the right thing. Oh, damn it. I was on the wrong page. Sorry for swearing there. But I can now go out and collect that treasure chest. And that treasure chest have 50 shadows. So I only need 10. And that's easy to collect. But yeah, Gabri just destroyed a fine monument so that we could get over to this plant. You have to think that most enemies are like plant mud creatures that can like take shape to whatever enemy we have encountered in the past. This is sadly a very fun cutscene, so yeah, we're not going to see that, unfortunately. And I do not know about like hitboxes and so on, but it's possible to double hit an enemy, and I hope to double hit Lucy 2 times, so I don't need to JoJo pose 2 times in this fight. Oh, that was just what I wanted. Go back, go back. Switch to Zoro. Now, chains. When he comes down to like, I don't know, 5-10% health, he becomes more stronger and more annoying. Are you kidding me? Okay, that was a problem with the targeting system there for some reason. I just needed to use my ultimate, but that didn't happen, and I also swung in the wrong direction. Oh yeah, if you're wondering why I'm doing so much damage to an enemy, that's because I am using high level characters. Each attack have a level, and I'm using level 30, which is the highest you can get. On a gameplay mode where you usually can only be on level 10. So I am doing a lot more damage on all my attacks. If I have not mentioned that before. That's the reason why I can more or less one-shot these bosses with an ultimate. This is also the strongest like co-op attack in the game. It drains a lot of stamina, but it's also something you don't like get in the game normally, like progressively. It's something you can only get from also a treasure chest, and it only have a small chance of dropping from one specific enemy. So this is another room battle. I did not switch over to Robin because we have Kuma, and I want to defeat this Kuma as fast as possible, and that is just to kick him. You can also see that there are other zombies. I want to keep as many of these zombies alive. Because I'm going over to Robin. And I'm going to equip Salt. So I needed the 10 shadows. And that should be all the shadows I need. Yes, it was. Now I don't need to use her anymore. Oops, I am stupid. I forgot the timer. So yeah, we are going over to the next final boss, and this is Urs. And you may think, why am I going over to someone like Usopp? Well, Usopp is a ranged character and you can only hit Urs on the head. So you may think, oh, that's a good thing, because then I can keep hitting Urs from range. No, actually not. You can only hit his head when he's looking down to like find the Scrawhead groove. But the thing is that if you were hitting his head too hard, he's getting a nutback animation and you like reset him. But Usopp, his ultimate have no knockback on him, and each projectile deal damage, and the head is just one big hitbox. So that's the reason why you're using Usopp. Why you are using Usopp. And I'm standing in the corner of the fight to manipulate the AI so that Urs looks down faster to actually look for where we are on like the fight. If you run away, he would just simply keep us attacking. It's actually a very easy boss, because Urs by himself attacks you only at the edges of the bridge mostly, and you can just run back. There are continuously add in the fight, like zombies, but it doesn't matter much. But to make the fight go fast is only to manipulate the AI so that he looks down faster. So the last island we are going to is this floating isles, and that is Skytopia. Is not an island where we actually need to really collect items. Sorry, just like in the previous island with the book isle, we don't really need to collect much. Except that there is one thing we really want. That's 3 specific fish. And that's because the next gate requires 3 Sky Island fishes. And it's a bit luck dependent if I get them or not, since I am not entirely sure the big difference between the skyfish and the lovekiss fish you can capture here. You can see something flying in the sky, in like something red that flies. Yes, it is a paraglider, and yes, it is Panda Man. So these sky fishes spawns from 25 meters and up, but unfortunately there is a nice... Oh, was it too early? There is a high chance that I'm going to get the lovely kiss fish. I am guaranteed to reel them in as soon as the line goes to the 9 meters. That is the fish I need. Normally when you are fishing, you can sort of distinguish which fishes you are capturing, depending on behavior. Some fish takes a longer tool on your fishing rod's stamina wheel, and if it reaches 0, the line snaps. Others are very lively, so they are harder to catch since they are going back and forth the line. So you need to like turn and make sure that the durability don't go down faster. Please. There are many things you can capture in the game. One of the most toughest fishes to actually get are sea kings. Sea kings, why I'm getting this? Sea kings is something you can only get on Sunny. That's a bit too far. Oh yeah, if I'm not reeling in a fish, I can usually recover some of my stamina on my durability on the line. The reason why I am fishing like I do and like flinging the fishing rod up and down is because that I reeling it in faster. But I don't really care about the durability most of the time on my fishing rod, since it's fully enhanced. So I can reel them in faster by doing this. And I'm not very lucky, I see. There, okay, that's the last fish. And the only thing I really need to collect. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the next gate, the last gate here on the island, I need to collect an item I am going to collect anyway. So I don't need to go out of my way to get that thing. So now we are going straight over to the next gate. Oh, I should have changed to Brook. And I hope to hit them. I did not. As I said, this hitbox is very weird. That was a clean hit. It pushes them off the cliff. Basically, that's the only thing I need this for. And now we're going over to the next fight. Is Doflamingo. He is one of the enemies everyone hates. And you're going to see why. Because as soon as we are done posing on him, he's going to use one of his special effects. Or his special ability. Because it's Doflamingo and he is a puppet master, he is going to take over one of the crew members. And he is going to take over Zoro. And when he has Zoro, of course you cannot play as him. And the only way you are stopping him... Oh, come on, I need to get close to him. The only reason, or the only way you can... what can I say? The only way you can, like, make sure Zoro don't bother you is to defeat him. But then you are defeating him, which means that you cannot use him in the fight at all. And that's not the annoying part about Doflamingo. He can then, if he wish, take over another crew member and use them. Here we are talking about, oh, Gabri is a bit afraid, but Usopp is like encouraging him by saying, oh yeah, I was also afraid a lot of times and I have even left the crew. Because of, like, I will not say fear, but that was, you know, something about not Mary, but Mary, and the fact they need a new ship. And Usopp, like, encouraged Gabri by simply be like, I was a scaredy cat once, but look at me now. And yeah, we are not going over to our ship to refuel our stamina, because it's not needed. As we are going to activate this boss and do it afterwards. And yes, I am kicking this weird plant thing. And that's the reason... and the reason is that it's connected to a cannon, and that cannon shoots something at you. And I don't want to be shot at here, since I need to stop up to capture this beetle, or this spider. And that spider is one thing I am required for the next gate. So that's just win-win, is on the way anyway. That was a very fast fight. So now we are going to see Frank is like sort of hidden ability of this game. He can make paths if you have the right materials. To make ladders you need bamboo, to make bridges you need marbles, to make staircases you are needing wood. But this is the only place where it's required to progress the storyline. Swing! And this is the last gate, but since the boss do not spawn here, but another place, we can now go back to our ship. And then heal up. And now it's just about to get back to the ship as fast as possible, and there is a place that is the bridge where we can go back. So now it's just as fast as possible get over to the bridge area where we had our first room fight. And yes, you can also capture the spiders from behind. And now we are going to heal fully up and go over to the next boss. Hey, look at that! It's right here! I do not like Kizaru because he is a boss that shoots lasers. And on Sunny is a very narrow arena. And the lasers, they explode on impact. It means that you are getting hit even though the laser miss you. You are still getting hit by the explosion, or you can get hit by the explosion. That and Kizaru, he likes to really teleport a lot. Oh, that was lucky. He could have teleported behind me or out of my attack. Normally he will use his own special attack, which is just a light beam. But Zoro don't care. He goes straight in face first and do not stop. That's why I'm switching to him to finish the fight, since that he don't care being hit during his special attack. That was Kizaru. Now we only need to go out and defeat the end boss. We have become stronger ourselves, and Gabri have consumed a lot of energy from our bosses, so that Gabri have also become stronger, more, and have gained like more courage. Being able to like face the part of him that is this ancient like being. This island doesn't require anything particular. So what we are doing is just doing this. Spend all the things we can so that we can get everything up to 10. We don't need the gold one to be at 10. So it doesn't really concern much. Wait, I need... What do I need? Okay, I'm not entirely sure why I needed to use pure ore. Maybe I have miscalculated something during my run. We are switching over to Usopp. Usopp is the best one to defeat the end boss, funny enough. Because it's a bit of the same reason as us. This boss is right now just a big giant hitbox. There is very little manipulation on this boss, because he will usually always attack 2 times with his hammer, and then he will jump up and do like his ranged attack. But yeah, that was only the first part of the boss. Sadly, this is the best cutscene of the whole game. We're missing that out. Come on! Come on! But this part of the boss, he can utilize abilities from the Strawhack group, as well as other bosses. He likes to jump around. Time! Wow! 1 hour. Oh, that's a new record with 5 minutes. That's really good.